Hey guys, this week we're talking about how we embrace our identity. And I embrace my identity and also just the whole trans umbrella identity is by standing up for anything and everything when people feel that trans should be the butt of a joke. Specifically, why is because at a job that I no longer work at, two of my female coworkers were making fun of, I believe it was Hangover Part 2 or something like that, and they were calling it like a lady man or a girl boy or something like that. And I remember being called a he she when I was little, and I hated it. And the kids, I mean, and they knew it, and it dug at me, and they kept doing it. And we had a client come in who was either trans or just a very effeminate man, and they just kept calling him a lady man, and that really fucking bugged me. I mean, not to his face, like when he left and back in the production room. So like they were doing that, and I go, "Hey guys, that's not office appropriate." And they looked so offended and pissed off. At the time, I identified out to people that I was just lesbian. So they were like, well, just because you're lesbian doesn't mean that you have to stick up for those people. And it was just the worst sorority girl attitude ever. I'm not saying all sorority girls are bad, but it was just like, how dare you stick up for this? Like, if we think it's funny, we should be able to do it. And it's like you're hurting a whole group of people. It just kept snowballing, and the entire time, and it ended up that the management took her side. And the two girls' side versus my side is because they just didn't want to take disciplinary actions, and on top of that, we fell under the amount of people that, so you don't need to adhere to all of the like standards for working. And that wasn't discrimination specifically against me. It was just, well, if you don't like that she said that, you can leave, kind of thing. And it was just bullshit. And I filed a complaint with the BBB and just left them alone. And it's actually quite funny, is because several times they have asked me to like come in and help and work as a contractor, and every time I just sit there and be like, my rate is this, and just say a ridiculous number, and they never respond, which I think is funny. But yeah, and I don't agree with it, and it bothers me. So like that is how I embrace it, is I stick up no matter what. Also, I embrace my identity by dressing the way I want, and then when somebody makes a comment on it, turning right around and, just politely correcting them, being like, well, you feel like you get to wear pants and do this all the time. Why can't I do what I want? And actually we do a historical reenactment, and just last week I was like, you know what? I'm going to wear the male clothes. I don't want to wear the female clothes because there's two closets. I was just really excited. I was wearing male pants, male shirt, and I did my part, and then I did this other part, and when the kids interacted with me, it was quite great, because again, they know me by my female name, but in this historical clothes and all that, they were just sitting there and like looking at each other, and you're supposed to respond either yes ma'am or yes sir, and they were like, yes sir, and I loved it. It was great. And that's just a personal boost for me, because that means I'm really passing, even though I still feel like I look rather feminine. But yeah, and then at the end of the day, not letting it bug me. I don't know. But personally in my life, I have been just so happy and so much more comfortable with my body, especially as of recently. I went shopping just for some summer stuff, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get those nice pair of swim trunks, and I did. And it was just so exciting. In the dressing room, I just put the swim trunks on, took everything else off. I just loved how I looked in the mirror. Yeah. And then even for we had a staff banquet, and even for that, I wore all male clothes. I wore a really snazzy vest. I felt like I looked awesome, and it was just nice, because I was like, I am just gonna do what I want to do. Because in the end of the day, that's what it is. You're alone. Did you do what was gonna make you happy that day, or did you conform to what they want you to do and make yourself unhappy? So specifically, that is one of the things I do. Excellent. Thanks, guys.